There are moments in life when we feel invisible, moments when the world moves forward while we are left behind. Yet sometimes all it takes is one voice, one moment of courage, and one person who chooses to stop and see us to change everything. Today, I want to share a story of courage, compassion, and a single moment that transformed a life forever. A story called The Day Jesus Stood Still. The sun was sinking over the hills of Judea, painting the sky with warm gold as travelers hurried along the dusty road. Merchants and shepherds walked with purpose, eager to return home before darkness settled in. Everyone moved quickly, everyone except a young girl named Mara. Mara sat quietly at the roadside, her crutches by her side. She had lived her entire life unable to walk freely. People knew her, yet somehow she always felt unseen. Others moved forward. She remained still. But Mara carried a dream she never shared out loud. She wished she could run, not to win races, not to prove anything, but simply to feel the wind on her face and to run toward people who needed help. Every evening she whispered a promise to herself. If I could run, I would use my strength to lift others. One evening, the peaceful road suddenly filled with excitement. Whispers spread through the crowd. Jesus is coming through the village. The teacher who brings courage to the brokenhearted. The man who sees people no one else notices. Mara's heart beat faster. She had heard stories about Jesus, how his words could spark hope in people who had given up on themselves. As the crowd rushed toward him, Mara tried to stand with her crutches, but in the commotion, she fell to the ground. Dust clung to her clothes. People streamed past her as if she was invisible. For a moment, she wanted to stay down. Then she said softly to herself, "If I don't try today, I may never try again." Gathering every bit of strength, she raised her voice. "Teacher, please stop." Her voice was small but honest, and honesty, when spoken from the heart, reaches farther than volume ever can. Jesus stopped walking. The entire road fell silent. For the first time in her life, the world stopped because of Mara. Jesus walked toward her. He knelt so their eyes were level and spoke gently. "Why did you call out for me?" Mara trembled as she answered. "I don't want pity. I want courage. I want to rise, at least once, with my own strength." Jesus smiled, not because he felt sorry for her, but because he saw a warrior behind her fear. He reached out his hand. "Then let us rise together." He didn't pull her. He didn't force her. He simply offered his hand. Mara took it. Her first step shook beneath her. Her second nearly made her fall. But on the third, something changed. Her legs steadied, her heart lifted, and for the first time in her life, Mara took a step without her crutches. The crowd gasped, but the loudest thing in the world was Mara's own heartbeat discovering its strength. Jesus spoke softly to her. "Your courage has carried you farther than your feet ever could." Mara took another step, and another. Tears filled her eyes, not because she was healed, but because she was finally moving forward. Before he walked away, Jesus whispered one last lesson. "When you rise, help others rise. That is how courage spreads." Years passed. Mara became known across Judea, not as the girl who struggled to walk, but as the woman who walked from village to village, bringing hope to anyone who felt forgotten. Whenever someone asked how she found her strength, she would smile and say, "The day Jesus stood still for me, I learned to move." There will be days when life feels heavy, days when you feel unseen, days when taking even a single step feels impossible. But remember this, courage does not begin in your legs. Courage begins in your heart. And the moment you choose to rise, even in the smallest way, the world around you begins to change. Because just like Mara, your story is far from over. Your strength is waiting to be discovered. And someone, somewhere, is waiting to rise, because you chose to rise first. If you felt something while listening, leave a comment below and tell me what part spoke to you most. And if you believe someone out there needs this reminder, share it with them. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that speak to your soul.